Cinema. Welcome back to War with Cinema. I'm your host, Greg, your local metalhead, and with me is
Par the Collector. What's up, everybody?
And before we get into today's episode, I just wanted to give a shout out to
the Wicked Horror Show podcast. Thanks, guys. I appreciate y'all having me on. Tony, Kevin, it was awesome. Love to do it again. If y'all ever need filler episode or anything, and you got nobody else, more than happy to step in and fill 2 hours for you if you need it.
Yeah, if you want to check it out, you can go to YouTube. I have a playlist full of interviews, and it's on there. So go check it out.
Oh, that's awesome. It's on ours, too.
Well, I started a playlist because when we're on other people's podcasts, it's on a playlist of things we've been on. That way those podcasts can get their little shout out too.
That's what's up.
From our page. So yeah, go check it out. It was a fun episode. Fun to listen to.
Yeah.
I wasn't there. It was just Nick. So
yeah, I had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, yeah, thanks again, guys. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, thanks for the podcast shout out. And today's episode, we are following the lesser known movies from popular directors.
Yeah, this is definitely a Greg pick.
It is following by Christopher Nolan, his first film.
It is black and white.
Mm-hmm.
Very simple movie. You know what I got a lot of?
This is not a simple movie.
No. I'm saying simple to make. I feel like I don't feel like the budget for this could have been much.
Okay, it's a fun fact about the budget. I'm glad you brought that up. I won't guess the budget.
I'm gonna say $50,000.
This movie holds the cheapest movie ever having a theatrical release.
So how much?
$6,000.
That's what I'm fucking talking about, bro.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? And that's why Nolan is the fucking director of The Dark Knight right there, bro. Because they gave him a fucking truckload of money for that, and he didn't waste a single penny of it.
Okay, I got to give credit where credit's due. This movie came out in 1998. When did The Dark Knight come out?
2008.
10 years. And think about the movies he did in that timeline.
I mean, dude's got fucking skills, man.
He's a very talented man.
I'll say this. There's not many movies that he's directed that are just like bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they may not be my cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think Interstellar is a bad movie, but it's just not.
It's not made for you. Yeah. I don't like Tenet. I was talking to somebody else.
I still haven't seen it.
I've tried 3 times to watch Tenet. I get about halfway through and I have to turn it off because that movie is not for me.
That's crazy.
That is for other people.
But I mean, he's got movies that are like attached to my heartstrings too.
I mean, Batman.
All 3 of them,
right,
are masterpieces.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a reason we have all 3 of them looking at us when we do these. You know, I'm glad we didn't even have to discuss it. That was just in there.
Yeah,
we didn't even have to talk about it at the table. The Inception. I mean, I know you don't love it, but I fucking think it's awesome.
I don't hate it though. I like it for what it is,
right.
But I think it's a little overhyped. But you know, that's just my personal opinion.
It's just because
Memento is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And this
like
is Memento 1.0.
I can appreciate it, but like I like this more than I like Memento.
Really?
If I'm being honest,
that's surprising.
I do. I loved the simpleness of the story. Honestly, like you say, it's like not.
It's just the way he told it was complicated, but it is a pretty simple story when you break it down.
I feel like he gave his best like Tarantino try. You know what I'm saying? Like just telling it from all fucking parts of the story, which you know, it's not like you couldn't figure it out as it's going. But it's such a smooth fucking runtime, dude.
Yeah.
Like obviously $6,000, like, you know, that's probably all he could have to film. But like,
well, it's only 70 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, you want to talk about not a wasted frame, like just getting your story out. Like, I mean, that's just fucking, you know what I mean?
Well, let's get into it. What is this? What is Following about?
It's actually it's a really kind of like a fascinating subject in general, but kind of creepy as fuck at the same time. Is people watching.
Yeah,
we all do it, right?
There's like, a lot of creepy things in this movie.
Well, I'm just saying, as far as like, you know, people watching, like when you look at people and you just think like, wait, what's their story? You know what I mean? Like we're all guilty of it. I feel like I do it. You know, me and my wife will make jokes. Like if I see somebody that I feel like is goofy or doing something funny, I'll just like make up a voice and like, you know, like a name, like I'm fucking Jim Bob and like, you know, whatever. And, you know, we have a laugh about it. But like this dude takes it a step further. Like instead of just imagining what this person's life's like. This motherfucker went to find out in first person. And he hides it behind this thin veil of like, well, I'm not really being creepy. I'm doing
He's doing it for his book.
Exactly. I'm being a writer.
I'm doing research for my book.
You know what I just realized right now, just in talking about this? Like, why, like, if he was writing about all the shit that he was doing, like, why didn't he give that to the cops? Because that's evidence, man. That's testimony.
Not really.
Well, I mean,
it's still his word.
I mean, I get that, but like, it gives a little bit more, I don't know, perspective to like his side of it. Because he's not going to be like, it would have explained him and Cobb's relationship.
You always do this. You always jump to the end of the fucking movie.
I'm sorry. I can't help it, dude. Like, I'm sorry, but like, it just was like an epiphany right there. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. So this guy, he starts like following people like to work, to the restaurants, like to the park.
Right. He gets this addiction to like follow people. He says he's doing it for research, but really it's just people watching. It's just really being curious about people, which I get. We've all been there.
Yeah, but I mean, he took it to a step that I wouldn't do.
Oh yeah, it's a creep. You're stalking people.
Exactly. And not only that, but like it's in a bigger city. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of places that people walk and stuff. Like it would be a lot harder for you to follow somebody like where we live. You know what I mean? Because they would know you're behind them in the car.
Oh, they would definitely. Oh yeah, we live in a shady place that like if a car takes too many turns that I do, I get sus as fuck.
People bust 3 rights just to see if you're following them in that circle.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they drive to the police station.
Fun fact, I actually used to do that.
Drive to the police station?
No. I was back. I like driving. Like I enjoy driving. There have been times that I get in my car and I drive an hour out of the way and I drive back home. It's something I like to do. I don't do it much anymore, but I used to do it a lot.
Now that you have a car that it would be like dope to do that in, you don't do it anymore.
I'm too fucking tired. I'm just old and like
that makes sense.
And gas is expensive as fuck. So
that's true too.
But no, I used to like if I was out and about and there wasn't any like place I was going, I would kind of get behind somebody and kind of follow them for a while just to see where they're going. Oh. I would only follow them for like a few turns and stuff. It wasn't like I didn't follow them to her house.
It's a good thing you learned to knock that shit off because that's a surefire way to get shot nowadays.
Yes, 100%.
If you follow me more than 3 blocks, I'm going to put 2 through your fucking windshield and worry about it later.
No questions. Yeah, I'll ask questions after.
Yeah, just like, you know.
Right.
Oh my God. Fucking car's on fire, bro. I've been trying to wave you down. Anyways, yeah. So he starts following this one like a younger he looks like a businessman.
Right. Like he has a briefcase and everything.
Right.
Which, and first pet peeve of the movie. So I mean, obviously this guy plays an important role in the movie. He actually sees
he was one of my favorite parts.
Oh yeah, he's great. But he notices he's following him and he confronts him and, you know, all the stuff happens. I'm just going to tell my pet peeve of the movie. Like, it was very coincidental that he happened to be the guy that he's following. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like,
well, I feel like that's the thing about it. Like, he thought he was the one watching, but really he was being watched himself.
Right. But he still followed this guy. And this specific guy.
That last scene with him before the last shot, it really made me like, before I just thought he was just like a smooth fucking hustling, you know, scheming motherfucker. But like at the end of the movie, it made me think like, well, he must be more important than that because the boss, maybe he's that right hand man. Maybe he is that dude.
Mm-hmm. And I realized I didn't think about this till after we watched the movie, and I'm like, I gave him a gangster movie, like, and I didn't even realize it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a $6,000, dude. I mean, I got really inspired watching this fucking movie, man. Like, it made me want to write a fucking screenplay. I was like, look, anybody can do it, man.
Yep, $6,000. It's like,
and I thought I'd hate the black and white, but it reminded me of Clerks, man. It just made me like, you don't have to have color for it to be good.
You know, music reminded me of Pi.
Yeah.
It really gave me the Pi nostalgia.
I feel like
the black and white.
I feel like one of his friends' little brothers made that whole
soundtrack
thing, in his basement and was hey Chris, I got this for you.
He actually stayed with him as a sound guy for his movies. Yeah, he did the music for a lot of his movies.
Hey Danny, throw him a bone, you know, have him go get coffee or whatever. Right. Let him play a cymbal or something. Or no, he didn't do that. It was Hans Zimmer. That's what I'm thinking of, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hans Zimmer did all the Dark Knights.
Yes, he did.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Hans, come on, man. He's a friend of mine.
And he did Dune. Hans Zimmer is seriously GOAT.
Him, John Williams. There's a couple of them.
Oh, yeah. The guy that always does Tim Burton movies.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't think of his name right
either.
now,
But
man.
anyway, so
he goes to a diner and he's like sitting at a table watching this guy, and I'm thinking to myself, like, you've been following this dude all fucking morning, and then you sit 2 tables from him and then you just fucking stare him down pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, did you think that he wasn't going to notice that eventually?
Right.
You know, like I said at the beginning, it kind of threw me off. Like, I was like, all right, well, you know, plot movement, I guess. But, you know, later on in the movie, it made more sense to me.
Yeah. Whenever he got up to like confront him, I got nervous for him. Like,
Dude,
I got a serious like or not a serious panic attack, but I got the anxiety from it.
That's what I was going to say, man. Like, he did a really good job of building tension in this movie. And did it with next to nothing. And like, that is one thing I would say would kind of like kill a Black and White. Like that part where the dude sneaks up on him. Like, it's cool, like, because he's in the shadows. Who it is. Exactly. But like, it's just some random fucking character.
Yeah. No, well, it's the muscle.
Right. Well, yeah. Like,
you find out after the fact, but when it's happening, you're like, is that Cobb or is that, you know, you're not sure.
Kind of wanted it to be Cobb.
Yeah, I thought it was.
But, so anyways, he goes, Cobb confronts him and he's like, you've been following me all morning. Why? And I like this dude just because he's a suave motherfucker. And I feel like I've seen him in other stuff now.
Yeah. He's been in a few things.
But he's a smooth operator, dude. And he's like, tell me why you're following me. And he's like, and I'll tell you he's like, you want to know what's in my briefcase? I
lied. And following is literally this guy's been in.
Really?
I was thinking of the other guy, the one that's following everybody. He's been in a few things. He was in Tenet. He's been in the Batman movies. And
must have played like a random thug or something.
Yeah. And then the blonde lady, it's literally, her name is literally in the movie The Blonde. As the blonde.
Lucy. She was
Lucy
sexy.
Russell.
She was sexy.
I liked it. Yeah. But
she had kind of like an old school sexy to her. Like a noir. You know what I mean?
Well, there's it's supposed to play into the character. I don't know if you noticed it. He had Marilyn Monroe pictures in his room. So she was actually dressed up like Marilyn Monroe because that's the girl of his dreams, essentially. That's what it alludes to.
Yeah, like I said, at the end of the movie, it really does, like, you get the fact that, like, they played this dude like a fucking fiddle.
Yeah.
And, I don't know.
And he was just some random dude, too. That's the worst part.
But, yeah, I mean, but at the same time, it's like, did you feel bad for him? Because, I mean, he wasn't exactly doing right.
I mean, he wasn't
hurting anybody yet.
At least he had rules. Like, he doesn't follow girls at night. He doesn't follow people to their house. He had like little rules that he had to following, so.
Except for with the blonde.
Yeah, he broke his rules with the blonde, but.
And then when he breaks one rule.
He breaks them all.
Exactly. So anyways, Cobb pretty much tells him he's a burglar. Mm-hmm. He breaks into people's houses during the day when they're at work.
Yeah, because he has the bag. He's like, look through the bag and it has a bunch of old CDs. He's like, why do you have CDs? It's kind of untraceable. Easy to sell. Yeah.
Yeah, like little jewelry and, like little boxes of like, personal mementos. And he's like, why did you take like personal shit from them? He's like, because everybody has a box that.
Do you have a box? It doesn't have to be a box. It's
right.
It's a.
I'm trying to think. Like, I mean, I have like a little mini safe with like my kids and mine birth certificates and. No,
that's not what we're talking about.
Of like dirty shit. Like I don't have any skeletons anymore. Like I've been an inside animal.
Okay, like so you don't have like old movie stubs with like old letters from X. I don't know. Fuck.
No, not letters or nothing like that.
I'm just giving examples of like. Oh
yeah.
Okay, so example, I have a drawer beside my bed, and I have drawings that me and the wife made each other when we like first got together. I have stuff from the Renaissance Festival. I have ticket stubs, movie stubs from stuff. Like, it's just random shit that I acquired and I kind of threw in this drawer.
Well, I'm the collector, bro. I got all that shit everywhere. Like, I even had
Yeah,
my
just
wife.
walk into my box is my whole house.
Pretty
says
much.
Nick.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, my wife even has the pregnancy test from both kids, bro.
Really?
Yeah, like she saved everything. First locks of hair, first.
See, that weirds me the fuck out because my mother did the same thing. The locks of hair, the teeth,
She used to. I think we had the teeth, but I think she's lost them over time. But like, I might have thrown them out. Who knows? I mean, it's mothers, bro. So I don't. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a mother.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna try to. Act
It
like
is
I
your
understand
yeah.
that.
It is your child, I guess. The thing that came out of you.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that my wife loves my kids more than me, but she carried them. So they have a connection to them.
They have a bond that you will never have with your kids.
Exactly. And I mean, I'm in my children's life just as much as any other dad. Right. And like I said, my kids love us both. But like I said, like their mother, like I'm not going to try to act like I understand that love.
Right. I was just curious if everyone has a box. Like, I know they say everyone has a box, but do they really? Like, I know I have one, but
I feel like there's an exception to everything, you know, but
obviously there's somebody out there that has nothing.
Right. They were an orphan or, you know, they've been in a fucking institution or something.
Well, it doesn't even have to be from your childhood. It could be from like your teens or your early youth. It's just stuff you acquire that just means something to you.
Right. Sentimental value.
Right.
And I have shit tons of sentimental value all over my house. Like,
your Batman collection is not sentimental.
No. And that's what I'm saying. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if something happened to my, like, collectibles, of course I'm going to be fucking upset. But, like, there's art that my grandfather did that's there. Like, if that got destroyed, that would hurt my soul.
Yeah.
Way more than any of that shit. You know what I mean? Not the money or any of that. But, like, you can get all that again.
So if the house is on fire, you're going for the clown?
That'd probably be the last piece of art to grab just because, like...
That'd be the first one I'd grab.
I mean... No, because there's a couple others I love, man. Like, I'd have to get them.
Well, then you should love the clown more.
I do like the clown, but they don't let me hang the clown anywhere. He's in the closet right now.
I feel like you just need to take head of your household and put it where the fuck you want to put it.
Well, I thought about that, but then it's like the words of the wise Ron White, this dick ain't gonna suck itself, Greg. So sometimes you gotta play ball. You know what I'm saying?
We're drinking, so let's talk about this fucking movie. We're like off on a huge tangent.
True story. Well, this movie's not long, bro. So I feel like if we go too hard, like we're gonna be there.
I feel like it's pretty. You know, there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to dig through.
A lot of layers.
Yeah.
So he goes on with Cobb on a couple burglars, and then he gives Cobb. He lets Cobb rob him or try to rob him.
Yeah, he takes him to his house, but why do you think he does this? Why do you think he makes him go to his house to look through his stuff?
See, kind of like get to know him better, I figured.
You think so?
That's what I thought, like, just to, like, because, like I said, he thought that he was the one in control. Like, he was the one that started the relationship, you know, and then he got interested because that guy was dangerous. He was doing shit that, like, everybody kind of wishes that they could do. You know, the guy was just robbing, you know, I mean, obviously that's bad and you shouldn't.
He doesn't take stuff, though. He just goes through people's stuff. He's like, you can take things if you want, but that's not the point.
Right.
It's to get a look into someone's life that they otherwise don't want you to see.
Well, dude, he stole credit cards. Like, he stole shit.
I mean, yeah, he did steal shit, but I'm just saying, like, the whole purpose of going through somebody's stuff is to...
I feel like he was at that point where, like, he's where old boy would have led up to eventually. And I think that's why he went with him so much, because he saw a lot of himself in him. He was like, oh, man, I'm just like this dude Cobb, you know?
Yeah,
like,
that is true. You have that camaraderie. Like, when you see somebody... Like, Cobb is taking it to another level, but like you said, he's probably going to progress to this anyway without Cobb. So,
right. And I think that's why he brought him in close, because he wanted to see and that's why he took him to his house, because he was like, oh, this poor fuck is living in squalor. He's like, there's nothing worth taking in this fucking dump.
Well,
like,
I feel like he just wanted to be justified. Like, he was talking about the books he had and the music he had. He's like, it's good music though, isn't it? Like he just wanted someone to be like, oh, this guy's really like deep and he's an artist, you know, stuff like that. Kind of like me.
But he kind of, but oh boy, like kind of went
because he knows it's his, so he kind of like trashes it, which is pretty mean.
Need a new sheet. This guy needs a new sheet today. And then later on, he's like, when he's talking to old girl, he's really shitting on him.
Yeah.
What a fucking sap. Hook, line, and sinker.
Right. So he does.
They rob a lady's house, and then the next day they're going to rob another lady's house, and she comes home with her lover.
Yeah, not her boyfriend, not her husband, her lover.
The one that she's having an affair with. So they just act like they're fucking people looking at.
Yeah, they're like realtors and stuff.
And she's like, we're not selling this place. And he's like, oh, well, then we'll have to call so-and-so. And then they just kind of scurry out the door.
Yeah, pretty smart.
Pretty smooth. Yeah. Like I said, Cobb's a smooth operator. He's been in the game for a minute. That's what I was getting.
Right.
So, you know, of course, old boy is just getting his feet wet. He starts freaking the fuck out. They're going to know who we are. They're going to report us to the police. And he's like, chill the fuck out, man.
Who wouldn't though? Like, if I was in that situation.
Because he's a normal person. Like, you know that you just did some illegal fucking shit. Like.
But then after that, he takes him to the blonde's house and starts going through there. I know this movie is like all out of order, and there's no way me and Nick are going to be able to follow the way it's out of order. So we're just going to do it chronologically in our heads, how it makes sense. Right. So I just wanted to put that for us because this movie is basically a puzzle. And Christopher Nolan's just slowly putting the pieces together, letting you slowly see the picture until it's done. So it's kind of his forte. It's like what he does.
But that's what's so crazy, bro. Like, it has so much detail, so much packed in, and it's 70 minutes.
Yeah.
Think about that. Like a bare minimum, which I couldn't tell you the last time I went to the movies and saw an hour and a half movie. Mm-hmm. It's always at least hour 45.
Well, this is essentially like a short film, but longer, you know?
Right. Well, I mean, it's his first thing. And like I said, I don't know if the money is what made it or he was just like, look, there ain't no fat.
Let's just story. Let's just put it out there. Christopher Nolan is essentially a genius when it comes to like concepts. He really is good at putting these like puzzle pieces together. He is a genius when it comes to that. I just wish he was a better storyteller.
What was after this? Memento?
Memento, yes. Basically, Memento is kind of like this movie, but just polished better.
A little bit more of a...
I love Memento. So I watched Memento way back in the day.
Right.
And I didn't... This is back before like I really looked at directors. I just like... I liked that movie. Mm-hmm. I didn't really think about who directed it, who wrote it, stuff like that.
Right.
So I loved Christopher Nolan before I knew I liked Christopher Nolan. But yeah, I watched Memento and it blew me away because the storytelling was just so like mind-boggling.
Yeah. And like I said, man, Guy Pearce... very underrated.
Yes.
But I kind of, like you said, like he took this and it was kind of like when he did Memento, they gave him the budget that he should have had for this.
I feel like Memento, that story, it kind of makes sense for that, the broken up story. Mm. For this, like he could have done this chronologically and I think it still would have made sense. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
One of the movies that came out recently called Bird Box.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, you know how they do the same thing out of chrono. That movie does not need to be out of order.
Right.
Put that movie in order and it makes it flows better. I hate that they put it out of order. I think they did it as like a gimmick.
It was kind of like a hot thing for a while.
Yeah, because everyone's like, "Oh, Bird Box so good," but it's only because of that gimmick of the way they told the story, which they could have made that chronological story and it would have flowed perfectly.
Sandy sold that fucking movie.
I didn't like Bird Box.
I didn't think it was the greatest movie, but like, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, that's the closest I've come to giving up hope in a movie. Like, I needed her and them fucking kids to make it somewhere safe.
Did you see her other movie that she did recently?
The one with Channing Tatum?
No, not that one. She was a ex-convict.
I don't think so.
Oh my God, you need to watch that one.
Okay.
That is a good fucking movie. I can't think of it right now, but it is good. It's on Netflix.
She always has like a movie like that's like a hidden gem.
This is her like best performance in my opinion.
Have you ever seen 28 Days?
No.
It's where she plays a lady in rehab, an alcoholic.
Oh, really?
It's pretty good.
I'll have to check that one out because
Viggo Mortensen's in it.
Oh yeah.
He plays a baseball player that's like a cokehead and shit.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Like, everybody in the rehab's like a big name.
I'll definitely check that out.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. But anyway. So the chronological, like breaking it up, I mean, it works, but it doesn't have to be that way. It's just kind of what Christopher Nolan does.
I kind of feel like it keeps you interested, though.
Yeah. It definitely
like,
does.
Even if you're not like really sold on the story to that point, at least doing it like that makes people have to at least.
Well, that's what he said.
Fuck, now I gotta see what's going on. Like, now I gotta at least finish it.
That's what he said. It's like he's trying to keep people's attention.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. Like I said,
I don't mind it.
I think that's why I've loved Tarantino as much as I have, because he just does what the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
He doesn't do it as much anymore, but like Pulp Fiction, man, Reservoir Dogs, like his first couple movies, he lived in that shit.
Yeah, he was known for that.
Right. Fucking Glorious Bastards, bro, when he brought that back. And like, I gotta be honest with you, that's probably like the one movie of his that I hated after the first time I watched it.
I did too.
But now it's like one of my favorites he's done.
I need to get we're going to talk about Quentin Tarantino on every podcast, aren't we?
Dude, I mean, he's that guy. It's like Scorsese. I could talk about Martin Scorsese forever, dude.
Yeah, but
anyways, Christopher Nolan, The Following, or not The Following, Following. So Cobb, okay, he meets a lady at the bar, the blonde. He meets the blonde at the bar, and she is like a piece of eye candy for this local gangster who owns this club, and he's like comes over.
I thought they were like an ex.
Well, that's what she says, but like he was still hitting that shit. Like,
oh, true, yeah. I took notes, and a pretty funny note. I said, what if he wasn't attracted to the girl? And then I was like, never mind, guys are dumb and fall for women easily, especially that kind of character, or his kind of character.
Well, here's my thing that kind of threw me off. Like, this fucking guy has been like a loner, outcast, following people literally. Like, that's how fucking hard up he is.
He's kind of a sad person.
Right. That's how sad he is for like human interaction. But then he just gets like the fucking, balls the size of watermelons, dude, and just walks up
to this woman,
this hot ass blonde lady, and like,
that's true. I didn't even think about that.
Right,
yeah.
Who's clearly like, like you said, that connection to Marilyn Monroe. Like,
but all of a sudden, he's a pickup master. Like,
right, like he's smooth as fuck, dude. Right. I was just like, where the fuck has this guy been for the first 20 minutes? Like,
yeah, you did a complete 180.
Just went from like a guy that was almost a school shooter to like now he's just like the life of the fucking party.
Yeah, he's.
And then I thought about that too. Maybe it was because he had been hanging out with Cobb, and like I said, Cobb is such a smooth. That's where he picked it up from.
Maybe
like he was just doing his best impersonation of Cobb.
But my whole thing is like, this lady plays a specific part in this story, like. They're really rolling the dice of him being that attracted to her. That's why they doll her up like Marilyn Monroe, because
like I said, that's the genius of it. At the end, it lets you know that like that's why she did that. That's why, because they were trying to set this fucking poor sap up, Yeah. So anyways, he starts bullshitting with her, and she's like, look, I can't talk to you here. Like, meet me outside or whatever. So he goes to her house. They have a drink and all that.
Right.
And then it goes back.
By the way, I'm annoyed at how much he asked her about her fucking ex-boyfriend. Well, it was just a little thing that I picked up on. Like, he's like drilling her about the ex-boyfriend. He like won't let that shit
go. His justification for all that is, I'm a writer.
Yeah, I guess, but...
And I mean, you see him typing on the motherfucker the whole time.
I'm just saying, if a guy's trying to pick me up and he won't let my ex go, like... You're going to have to kick rocks, because that's not what I want to talk about.
Well, we know you're easy, so we know
I am so easy.
It's not going to take much to get you in the car.
Right. Just don't talk about my ex and we're good.
Right. Like, so I think he, obviously has the crush on her or whatever, and it cuts back to him and Cobb robbing more.
Right.
And he... I think he calls him and he's like, hey, I'm going to go and fence that lady's stuff. I found a guy. Do you want to, I'm going to give you some money for like, showing me how to do this and everything else. Or no, I skipped over when they're eating. They're like eating out, and it's like this really nice restaurant, and he's like, "Hey man, I got you something. It's a credit card. Like you could be this fucking guy,
D. Lloyd."
Right? And he's like, "What do I owe you?" He's like, "Don't worry about it." He's like, "It's for you, you know."
Yeah.
He's like,
"Now you know what it feels like to pay for something."
Right.
It's a cold ass line.
It really is, because he's like, "I just wanted you to have the satisfaction that I offered for you to pay." And I was like, damn, that's like the nicest way to like call somebody a broke motherfucker.
It is the most backhanded compliment I've ever heard.
I'm going to do that the next time I'm at dinner and somebody's out like they got alligator arms. I'm just like, don't worry. I just wanted you to have the satisfaction of knowing that you could have paid.
What did you say? Alligator arms?
Yeah, you ain't never seen that?
I've never heard of that.
Oh, yeah, that's a super old expression. Like,
I haven't heard that.
Yeah, the check comes, everybody got alligator arms because alligators have tiny arms.
Yeah. I just never heard that before. That's funny. What's funny is we're opposite. Kendra and I like reach for the check. Like we want to pay.
Yeah, I know. I love people like you.
Yeah, that's why we don't go out.
I'm a cheap motherfucker, so like it makes I just was like, I took note of that. I was just like, damn, bro, he like double shit on him.
Yeah, he did in
that moment, you know. So, anyways, the first chick they robbed, the one that was having the affair, comes in with her man,
right?
And he's like, holy shit, the lady we robbed's here, and he's like, is she with the same guy? And he's like, no, she's with somebody else. He's like, cool, then that's her man. He's like, we're good. She's not gonna say shit. And he's like, bullshit. He's like, she recognized me. He's like, will you chill the fuck out? He's like, everything is fine. You're the only one freaking out. And he's like, let's go. He's like, fine, we'll fucking go. Just calm down. Calls the dude over to get the check. And then he gives him the credit card, signs for everything, and they leave. He's like, he stops him right as soon as they go out the door, like 2 steps out the door. And he turns around and he puts his fucking hand in his face. He's like, I don't like ending a fucking good meal before I've had my fucking dessert. He's like, you're being a fucking child. Like, you know, you need to grow the fuck up or whatever.
Right.
And he's like, I got fucking scared, man. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not used to this shit. And he's like, well, you need to fucking get with it or like fuck off.
Right.
And that's when they talk about selling the stuff that he got or whatever. Cut back. So he's going to get all the stuff that he does. And then it cuts to him getting that safe. It just shows him opening a safe and pulling out all this fucked up money, like old ass money, and like an envelope.
Because the girl told her like,
yeah, but you didn't get that yet.
You didn't get that yet.
No,
I can't remember how it lays out. But
it's like I said, that's where it kind of threw me off. I'm like, what the fuck? What's the scene? Like, what did he get the safe? Like, where's the safe from?
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah, that's the thing about Christopher Nolan. He gives you all the like.
I had to go back and make sure I didn't miss anything. I was just like, bro, when the fuck was a safe mentioned? And it wasn't. Like,
oh, okay.
So he breaks open the safe and you see him taping all this fucking money to him. And the next thing you know, old boy creeps up in the shadows and he's got a hammer.
Mm-hmm.
He fucking hammers this dude. And he freaks out, picks up the envelope, picks up the money, the hammer, dips the fuck out.
Right.
Cuts to him going back out with the blonde. And they're kind of flirting and having a good time. And he keeps mentioning the ex, like you said. And she gets pissed off and dips. And he's just like, what the fuck, you know?
I don't blame her.
So, cuts back to him at his apartment. He's typing and all that shit. Well, he calls old boy. And then that's what he says. Hey, I got the stuff. I'm going to fence it. I'll meet you wherever. So the dude hangs up the phone and he's like, well, this was working out exactly how I planned. And it's you see him and her together.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, are you sure this is how you want to do it? He's like, yeah, he's perfect. He's a fucking sap. It's going to line up for, he's like,
you should have seen his apartment. It was so sad. Like,
he goes, I guarantee he bought a sheet that day because of what I said. Or I bought,
no, it was
a mattress.
Rug.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah. The mat outside.
Oh, he's like, he bought the mat just to put the key under.
Right. Just like I said he would.
So
do you know anybody that actually does that?
What? Puts a key under a mat?
Just random places around the front door. Like the first one they go into, it's up on the what is it called? The seat, the ledge.
Yeah. The door frame.
Yeah. And then the second one, it's under the mat.
Or like a plant or a rock or some shit. Or not like a plant, but like a potted plant.
Mm-hmm.
or like a rock. You know, everybody's got like a hide a rock or whatever. They'll put it in the flower bed or whatever. Yeah, you got to be smarter than criminals. Well, most people like have you like you now. Like they have those rings and shit.
Oh, that's true.
And that scares off most people.
Right.
Because, you know.
Ours is like out of sight, so nobody ever sees it. So it's pretty funny.
It's good.
Yeah.
Well, you hope they don't. So if somebody is fucking stupid enough, they get caught.
So the wife, whenever the ring goes off, she'll go through it and see what happened or whatever. Usually it's nothing. One time there was a guy that walked up to her house and tried to like open our door, like as if it wasn't locked, kind of thing. Like he knew who was in there. And
you think maybe he just like got the wrong one?
I think he got the wrong house, but it's super scary to see somebody just walk up to your house and try to open your door.
Right.
And obviously it was locked, so he couldn't get in. He stood out there for a second, looked around, and then walked off.
I saw a TikTok the other day where a dude's just sitting in his car and some dude just hops in the back seat, fucked up. He's like, thanks, man. Thanks for getting here so quick, man. Take me to da-da-da. And he's like, bro, sorry. He's like, bro, what the fuck are you doing in my car? He's like, bro, I called you fucking Uber an hour ago, bro. Like, what the fuck? And he's like, dude, I'm not a fucking Uber. Get out of my fucking car. Like, and you know what I'm saying? Like, people just, you know what I mean? You don't know. You know, like, you would think people have enough fucking sense not just get in strangers' vehicles.
Well, yeah, they had that thing for the longest time. Like they told girls to always look in their back seat.
I don't give a shit if I've been like somebody that I've known the longest. I will never go to your fucking house and just walk in, bro.
Yeah.
I will always knock, bro.
You have definitely walked into my house.
Yeah, but I'll announce myself like, yo, you know, or whatever. Like, I'm not going to just be like, you know what I mean?
Come in here and take a seat and start
I'm not going to just
without announcing yourself.
Exactly. I'm not going to just sneak in and start fucking.
That's how you get shot. Exactly. No matter who you are.
Exactly. And that's, like I said, that's what's good about this movie is it builds that tension because it plays on them, on the insecurities of like what we all feel.
Right.
You know, like, that's like the creepiest thing is like thinking somebody watched you or touched your shit while you weren't there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like she even mentioned when she was talking about, because he keeps asking her about her getting robbed because he knows that they robbed her.
Right.
And she's just like, they took my underwear. She's like, that's so creepy. And he's just like, are you sure? And she's like, I'm positive.
The sniffing of the underwear just like weirds me out. Like they were in her drawer just sniffing her fucking panties.
I don't like that stereotype either because it's like we're all just fucking savage.
I mean, we are, but we don't talk about it.
But like you said, man, that's just not something I've ever. I mean, there might be somebody that's their thing, you know, but I'm not king shaming. Just saying.
Yeah, if you're into sniffing panties, I'm not saying. I'm just saying it's to break into a stranger's house and go through their drawers. It's kind of weird. If a girl you know or you paid for their panties, like that's your thing.
I'll even drop another one on you that's gonna blow your fucking mind, dude.
What?
Have you ever been gone and like had somebody house sit for you to like take care of your dog?
Yeah, my brother did. Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, obviously your brother is not. He's not going to do this, but like if it was just a friend or, you know, a neighbor, somebody like that, like you ever thought about like while you were gone, like they're already here feeding your dogs and shit, like maybe not just take a look through your shit while they're there, see what kind of weird shit these people are into.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look for fucking dildos or, you know, whatever. Like, I
mean, if you find them, so what?
No, I'm just saying like, that's what I'm saying. Like some people would be like freaked out by that. Like, you know,
maybe.
I mean, I'm not the type of person, just like I'm sure you're not. You're not going to let a fucking stranger in your house to do that kind of shit.
Right.
If I am going to have somebody, it's going to be somebody that is like a family or whatever.
Right. Because even if they do go through your shit, they're not going to be like, I mean, who's going to go through somebody's stuff? If you do.
I just feel like people's like curiosity, like friends especially, like they always want to know something that they ain't supposed to know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's human nature. Like, I don't know. People could tell you as much as they want, but like everybody wants to know that one thing you don't want people to know.
Right. And I think that's what this movie is kind of like hinting at.
That's literally what all this is about. It's like what people's like skeleton is. Like what's your one thing? Like he said, like everybody, he's like, why did you do that? Why did you put the drawers in his pocket? Like, why did you put this out there?
That's why you take that and you wear it as like a shield. And no one can hurt you with it. Right. Kind of thing. Like if they do find out, it's like, so what? You already knew. I told you.
Right. If you live on the up and up, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot, you know, that's how I live my marriage. Like, I'm not keeping shit. Like, we talk.
But it's not even them. It's with everybody.
Right.
Like, I have a thing that I tell everyone. I'm like, I just want you to know this is what I'm into.
Right.
So if you hear it, don't be weirded out or don't think you can use it against me.
Right.
Kind of thing. You know?
I mean, yeah, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said.
But some people's skeletons are a lot darker than others. So you probably don't want people to know certain things.
Well, I feel like once you get to that point, like if you're into some fucked up shit like that, you're not going to let people know. Right. I'm just saying, like, you're not going to let people know because it would ruin you. You know what I mean?
I guess.
That's what movies like. I ain't watched it, but my wife talks about how great it is, that series with Jessica Biel. And she was kind of giving me like the breakdown of it. And it's a true story. Like, you can look it up online and stuff. And she was like, I knew what was going to happen, but it was still just crazy to see it like go down like that.
You're going to tell me what it's about?
Oh, it's like in the late 70s, early 80s in Texas. This really Christian woman, she's married and goes to church, and she meets another married man and wife, and her husband's kind of like doesn't have any interest in her. Mm-hmm. So she reads all these like hot, like nasty romance novels, and this is what my wife told nasty, me. Well, I'm just saying, like, you know, for that time period, you know, that was all taboo. Right. And she like read the like porn ones or whatever. Okay. So she like got this fantasy in her head that she wanted to have an affair. Well, the other guy at the church, you know, he was a really good looking guy, and, you know, yada, yada, yada. And anyways, she went and pretty much sat down like a business deal with him. And she's like, look, I think we should have an affair, this and that. We can meet here and do this, pay half, all that.
Just fucking lay it out there, huh?
Yeah, well. So anyways, they start fucking around. Well, of course, she catches feelings. He wants it to end, and I'll let it up to you whether you want to keep watching. But like I said, you can.
I want to keep watching. What happens?
Okay, well,
I'm just fucking with you. Leave it up to other people.
But yeah, but it's kind of like that thing that I was saying. Like, you would like to think that a friend wouldn't fuck you up like that, but at the same time,
you never know.
You never know, and. Yeah. That's kind of what old boy was like. He was naivety is what killed him, because like Cobb played him through and through.
Yeah.
So to get back to all that, to go back to that, so after he breaks down the game plan to her, you see him rob the safe or whatever. Well, because he meets Cobb at the brick top at the roof.
Well, before that, Cobb talks to her, and they're talking about the whole game plan thing. And he's like, did you sleep with her? Or did you sleep with him?
Oh, yeah.
She's like, yes.
You told me to. He's like, I told you if you had to go ahead, but I didn't tell you to.
Yeah.
He's like, did you enjoy it? She's like, did you enjoy beating the shit out of him? That's what I was going to get to. Like, he goes to the roof to give him the money. And
it's so disjointed. It's hard to keep it straight. Right. So
and he beats the fucking shit out of him, and then takes the gloves that he was using, because he shows up with like some OJ gloves, like some leather gloves, and he's like laughing at him. He's like, you can't do anything with those fucking things on. He's like, here. He puts like he's got these like rubber gloves, you know, keep them fingerprints away.
Right.
Stuffs the pear down his fucking throat. He's like, here, you know, a little help into your new career. He like shoves it in there. I feel like the dude should have kicked his ass that bad.
That's what I was gonna say. Is I think he did it out of jealousy because he slept with her. I think that's why he kind of like went a little raged out.
I was going to say that, and I mean, he already was fucking him over, so like, what's to beat his ass? You know what I mean?
I guess, but it's like, you slept with my woman. I don't know. That's what I felt it was all about.
Right.
Like, even though he told her if you need to do it, but she went ahead and did it.
Dude, I love, so like he goes over there to like fucking confront her, and she answers the door, and he bitch smacks her as soon as he walks in. And I was just like, did that just happen? Like, he just fucking like not like he didn't reach back from Oklahoma, but he just gave her like a bitch, where's my money?
Yeah,
like,
he let her know what time it was.
Yeah, like, hey.
Hey.
And like the crazy thing was that she kind of responded to it, which lets you know like where she's at mentally. And she's telling him everything he wants to hear, and this and that, and he thinks he gets to the bottom of it, and he's like, I can get your photos, I can get the money and this and that. He's like, we could go away together or whatever. And
well, this is after he saw the photos, because the photos, he opened the photos.
No.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, because he sees the photos and that's when he gets mad, because it's her when she's a brunette. And that's when he pieces it all together that they've been like setting him up.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So she kind of gives him like half the plan, but not
Right.
all of it. And he cuts to Cobb going with her, and yeah, because he still has some of the money, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he still had it on his arms and
Right.
shit like that. So it cuts to Cobb and her, and he's like, did it work? And she's like, yeah. She's like, well, you didn't know this, but like he showed up at a house to rob, and an old lady was murdered, and it doesn't say whether he killed her or she was already dead or whatever, but I'm believing that he probably killed her. And that's what the young man.
The young man.
I mean, we've been talking about this guy for like almost an hour.
Well, he says his name is Bill.
Is that what it is?
Remember
Bill?
at the beginning,
That's
but
right.
but I'm sure that's like a false alias, so he doesn't want to give him his real name. But let's call him Bill.
Well, Cobb too. Yeah.
Cobb and Bill.
So he's like, he called her in there. He's like, they questioned me about this murder. He's like, she's like, well, they let you go. He's like, yeah, but they always let you go to get you later. He's like, I got to get the heat off me. He's like, she's like, well, did they see you? He's like, no, they didn't get a good seat at me. He goes, and he just got a haircut and a shave, so he looks a lot more like anybody else than me. So he making her think that they're setting him up. And then it cuts back to that. And he's like, so did you get the money? And she's like, he's like, yeah. She's like, the old man told me that you were getting a little bit too big for your britches, you know, a little too greedy, a little too fucking whining, you know, and says that you still got that rug in here that he murdered that dude with.
Right.
He goes, so he told me to be very specific in what to do. And then he picks up, he goes, is that hammer that he murdered the muscle with still here?
Yeah.
And he takes.
Well, he didn't murder him because he said that he's in the hospital.
Yeah, he's like, that poor fuck that he put in the hospital. Well,
Right.
this is when the detective's talking to him. But
Yeah.
he's like, you still got that bloody hammer? He goes, he told me to be very specific about what to do to you. And then he just starts fucking going to town.
And just like the guy earlier in the movie, he breaks her fingers and then fucking puts it through her skull.
Mm-hmm. So it cuts to the young man in police custody.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like trying to give him the story. Like, look, Cobb did this. It's him. It's that. All I did was rob people. And because like we have no investigation about a woman being murdered. So it's like he made up the old woman being murdered.
Nope.
He made up him being questioned.
They set him up good and nice.
And then he got rid of the blonde who was a witness and who they were tired of being blackmailed by or like having to play ball with, you know, it was kind of back and forth. And Cobb got off scot-free because he was the puppeteer, you know. He was the one working the strings.
Mm-hmm.
And that last frame where it shows him in the crowd and then he kind of disappears.
Oh yeah.
And then it shows him one more time and then he disappears again. That look right there, that's like the most gangster shit of this movie. Because it gives you that like, well, okay, he was like the big bad wolf like the whole fucking time.
Right.
Great way to end the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because like they fucking Kaiser Sosa'd that poor bastard.
Yeah, they did. Couple things. So Cobb, you know, sets up the young man with this like showing him how he does things so it looks like him in future things. Did Cobb just do this beforehand? Is this like a extracurricular activity that he did? Or is he like
He was like a straight on sociopath.
You think so?
He was that dude's, not, like I said, not even his muscle, because he had muscle. He was that guy's like dirty work guy.
Yeah, that's what I felt too.
He's cleanup man. That's what I call him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's the guy that if you need evidence to disappear or a motherfucker to disappear, like this is the guy you call. Like you don't need a beating. You need a bitch to make something happen. And that's the vibe I got off of what he was, because the way he described him was like, hey, the old man, like, so that either means that like that's somebody that he respects or that's his boss. Mm-hmm. And I just got the feeling like the way he dressed, all that, like I don't think he was really broke. Like I think he was doing that for a means to an end. Like at one point he might have just been a fucking burglar.
Yeah.
But I think now he was just like an organized crime, and it was a good way to get the cops off of him.
Maybe.
That's the thing about it. You know, there's potential here that like there could have been more to this story.
Yeah.
You know, another 20 minutes. Fuck, who knows?
Well, that's why we got Memento.
That's true. That makes a lot more sense too.
Yeah.
Rating.
What do you
want to know what it is on the par scale?
You always go first.
Yeah, that's true. I'm going
7-9.
No. 7-8. Ha! Got your ass.
Got you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You could have at least went 8-1.
I thought about it, but it's one of those things that like I don't know if I would enjoy it as much the second time, just because I'm in on it now.
I watched it. So what's funny is I bought this. I didn't buy this movie. My brother bought it for me for Christmas. He bought me like a bunch of movies for Christmas, and I didn't know about this movie. He like looked into my favorite directors because at the time I
never fucking heard of it. So
he knew I was really into Christopher Nolan, so he went out and bought me the Criterion of this years ago. I was like, I didn't even know this movie existed. And I watched it. I remember really, really like it because back in the day I was really into concepts. So this is right up my alley. And I really enjoyed it, but I haven't watched it since. But I knew that I remember the idea of it, and watching it this time. I still enjoyed it though.
I'm not saying I wouldn't enjoy it, but that for me is why it wouldn't get an 8, because I just don't feel like it would hit the same the second time around.
It wouldn't, because you would start picking apart the little things and you start thinking about it too much. And like me, I was like, there's too many coincidences for this to work, really.
But it was better than a 7.
Yeah.
So that's why I went 7-8, because it was almost an 8 for me.
What's funny is like, I remember liking this movie. I gave it to you before I rewatched it, and I was like, I don't know if Nick's gonna like it. Like, I don't remember it, but after rewatching it, I was like, I think Nick will dig this movie because it's basically a gangster movie.
I thought, like, just thinking on it, like I said, when I watched it and after I got done with it, I just like all of it kind of hit me at once, and I was just like, you know, I can't believe this is this guy's first fucking try at it. Mm-hmm. Like, it's very fucking well made. Yeah. And then I had no idea, but I knew it couldn't have cost a lot. But I had no idea. $6,000, bro. Fucking Clerks cost 10. You know what I mean?
Clerks cost 26,000.
Oh, okay. Well, either way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like, it was a fucking convenience store.
Yeah. But that's because Christopher Nolan did pretty much everything himself.
Oh yeah, it's like
he wrote it, he shot it. Yeah. Like he had one camera and shot it, and everything.
But like I said, I got super inspired. Mm-hmm. I said, damn, man, like you could do it. We could do it.
And with the technology, it doesn't have to be black and white.
So I'm saying we could make a movie like this. I mean, you know, obviously, you know, it would take a lot to get a good story, but
it took him a year to make this movie.
I just feel like it proved that you don't have to have a huge like action movie or something. Like it doesn't have to be a CGI fest for you to make a good movie.
Right.
And
that's how I felt about Pi too, because that was Darren Aronofsky's first film. These two feel very similar. Yeah. And his didn't cost much to make at all either.
I don't know. Pi just kind of was like, I don't know, the eccentricity. It was hard to care about the character because I just kept thinking the whole time like this dude's fucking insane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's already gone. You know what I mean? Like that's how. And I didn't even know that math could do that to you. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's that descent into madness kind of thing, like not letting shit go and just letting it consume you.
Well, it's kind of like that's what I like. I think that's why I like the number 23 so much, because like he was seeing that number so much, just like he was in that. I mean, that's really what number 23 is like.
Yeah, it's a shittier version of Pi.
I mean, Jim Carrey killed that shit
right into the ground.
Oh man, I like Jim Carrey. He's good.
I give this a recommended. Like, if you like Christopher Nolan, you've probably heard of this movie, but if not, definitely check it out.
I will say it was like this. It was much more pleasant surprise. Like I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would.
Yeah, because I remember saying something before, and you're like, please don't ruin
Christopher Nolan. Yeah,
don't ruin him for me.
Exactly, and like it was kind of like how it was with the Coen Brothers with Blood Simple. Like I went in with no expectations. And it turned out to be really well made. Like
that's
good movie.
That's why I kind of wanted to do this segment, like of these lesser known by great directors, because everyone praises their great films, but they're better. Like their first couple of films, like people don't talk about much, but they're still really good. Like I love Blood Simple. I love Blood Simple to death, and I really like Following.
Well, my wife asked me before she left for work today. She was like, "How was the movie you watched?" I was like, it was good. It was actually really good. And she was like, it was a Greg pick? I was like, yeah. She was like, huh. She's like, what was it? I was like, it's called Following. I was like, it's Christopher Nolan's first movie. She's like, oh. I was like, wow. She's like, cool. And then she left. But, always when you pick, she doesn't know the movies.
Yeah.
Because, my wife doesn't watch shit like that. But, honestly, like my wife don't even really give a fuck about movies anymore. And it's so weird too, because me and her used to go see movies every fucking week when we first started dating and shit. And I mean, like with big stuff, she'll still go see with me. Like we saw Endgame together, but she wasn't as emotionally invested in that shit like I was,
Right.
We saw, we both took B-Man to see Spider-Man and shit like that. So that was cool. And like big stuff like that. We went and saw Sonic 2 together the other day. So she'll go, but...
So she'll go to the movies, but she won't, like, sit at the house and watch, like...
I couldn't tell you the last time we sat. And it's not even like she won't do it. It's just like one of us always falls asleep.
That's true.
Like almost immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, the wife has a 15-minute window. I'm like, do you want to watch this with me? She's like, I'll give you 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. She's like, if I don't like it, though, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go do something else. I'm like, that's fair. You're giving it a shot. Right. I can't force you to stay and watch a movie you don't want to watch. So we have that little thing going on.
But I said, like, other than she has her TV shows that she loves, and that's like her thing now. Like, she goes way more for the series and the Netflix and shit. Like, she likes stuff like that more than
there's
she
a
likes
lot
movies.
of TV out there too now.
I mean, it's very true. And I mean, with HBO Max and stuff, like there's so many series that are like movies. They're really well. Like I tell you, man, I know you're kind of over the superhero thing, but Moon Knight was really good, dude.
I believe it.
I've always respected Oscar Isaac as an actor, but I've never really liked a lot of the shit he's been in. But he fucking killed it in this. Like it was like he was mint.
Maybe I'll get around to it. I just have a lot of shows that I'm Ozark.
I know. I need to get on it.
You haven't started it?
No, I'm like halfway through the first part.
Wait. So the one that aired earlier this year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. I'm on the second part. I'm in the middle of the second part.
Don't tell me shit.
I'm not telling you anything, but fuck.
Yeah, I know. I got to get up on that. Well, me and my wife, it's like one of our only shows we still watch together.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to be respectful to that at the same time, but like neither one of us ever fucking sit down together to do it. So I'm off this week. We're definitely going to have to probably knock out. We're going to have to binge it at least one night.
Yeah, definitely.
Get on the second part at least.
Right. Can I dare I say this might be better than Breaking Bad?
Wow.
Or close to it. Like on par.
That's a bold statement.
Yeah.
I like that, on par. I should get that on a shirt.
I like yours. If you ever do a podcast, you said you were going to call it Up to Par.
Yeah, I am doing that. I like that, but I also like Par for the Course.
Par for the Course.
I like that too.
Yeah.
But Up to Par is like clean as fuck.
Yeah.
I would that's how I do my intro. I'd like slow it down like Gucci Man.
Mm-hmm.
Up to Par. Like I'd make it cool as shit. I'm balling like an athlete, but got no jumper.
So there's a chance we might be doing. There's going to be somebody on the podcast, maybe.
Hopefully, if he gets back to us.
Yeah, he knows who he is.
He's so famous. He ain't got time.
So
for
we might
the
be
little
doing
people.
that movie, which you don't know about, but I'll let you know when I know.
I thought you told me it was
True Romance.
Yeah.
No,
he's gonna want to. Man.
We changed it.
You changed it on me?
We changed it.
Oh shit! All right, well,
Cape Fear.
Oh wow! I haven't seen that in years.
Yeah.
I own it though.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I was wondering that.
I bought it like a month ago. It's weird.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, if he comes on, the next episode will be Cape Fear. But if not, did you have something laid out for me?
You know, I brought me my latest haul.
I seen you had a stack of movies.
Yeah,
it was like the first time you brought your haul over.
I know. Well, it's the first time in a while. I was gonna do a TikTok after we wrap this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I like doing them in here, man. Because like I tell people all the time, like on the TikTok for War with Cinema, I always say like, hey, you know, watch this episode and stuff like, but nobody ever sees me. You know, that's why I like making them here, because like you see a microphone, you see a headphone, you're here, so it makes it seem like it's an actual podcast.
I get it.
Like there's like this fucking guy's not on a podcast. And just to keep you updated, we're up to 73 followers on TikTok.
So no movie giveaway yet.
Fuck, man. Y'all tighten me up, man. Get me to a fucking 100. I'm trying to give y'all a movie. All right? Don't make me an asshole. Fucking give me to 100.
Your haul is a lot bigger than mine. Can I just go ahead and say mine real quick?
Yeah, go for it, bro.
So I bought a movie. I finally like pulled the trigger on it. It came out recently.
That's crazy because I own most Bruce Willis movies and I don't.
You don't own 12 Monkeys?
I don't think I do.
So Arrow did a 4K release of 12 Monkeys and I just had to get the motherfucker. I love 12 Monkeys. Brad Pitt is amazing in this.
It was one of those that I saw it when I was younger and I fucking didn't understand it and never went back.
My dad watched it. So you haven't seen this since you were a kid? Or
Nope.
Oh, we might have to do it on the
Yeah,
podcast.
I figured you were going to say some shit like that. But I just remember it being super weird.
It is super weird. Yeah, because Bruce Willis goes back in time and ends up in an insane asylum. Mental institution, excuse me.
Wow. I remember that part.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt.
And then he's trying to get out. Like,
yeah.
Could you imagine going back in time and fucking...
I remember Brad Pitt just like throwing
He's crazy. But anyway, that's my little haul. So
that's cool.
Let's go through your...
I did the mini review on TikTok of the Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. Well, yeah. I got the first one, the Hitman's Bodyguard.
Yeah. Is that any good? I didn't watch it.
I love this one. This one's actually really funny. They're back and forth. It's really good. Gary Oldman plays the bad guy. While I think he was a little bit wasted.
Yeah. That's a travesty to waste Gary Oldman. It's
still good. Good enough. I got Spectre, which I have all the James Bond, Daniel Craig's on Blu-ray now.
And we were just talking about it because the podcast you were on, you were like, it's so surprising that guy has never seen a James Bond movie, but neither have I.
I know. I thought about giving you a movie out of the stack for our next movie.
I hope it's not James Bond.
Well, if I was going to, I wouldn't start you off on the fucking next to last one. There's only been one after this, and I haven't even seen it. But anyways, I got both these Blu-rays $1 a piece.
Oh yeah.
I got Rogue One on Blu-ray
in the package.
Yes,
I actually have that on Blu-ray too.
Well, that's because I bought this at Five Below.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, this was $4 at Five Below. So.
Oh yeah.
And it's like one of the only Star Wars movies I don't own, so I was like, why not buy it?
That's pretty boring.
I liked Rogue One. Shit, that fucking 30 seconds of Vader saved it for me, man. Now we're breaking into the normal, the 50 cents.
the DVD.
This movie, I have no fucking idea what it is.
I'm excited. I love when you say that.
How shitty, how good it is, we don't know. Air America.
Let me see it.
Starring Mel Gibson and babyface Robert Downey Jr.
Why is that a thing?
Because it was fucking, this one may not even been 50 cents. It might have been a quarter. Honestly,
Air America,
because I can't see myself spending over 50 cents on a movie like this. But I said, dude, like Iron Man and fucking Braveheart. When would this have came out?
I have to be honest. I don't think I've seen Robert Downey Jr. before Iron Man. And if I did, I don't remember it.
You did, but you saw it after Iron Man.
Yeah.
You saw Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Right.
That's right before he became Iron Man.
I see.
But
I mean, like before his.
Oh, I've just
downfall.
got a couple movies, like Falling Down, or not Falling Down. Less Than Zero.
Oh, okay.
Less Than Zero.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, dude, I mean, he's playing himself. He's just like a fucking junkie in that one. Back to School with Rodney. Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah.
He's in that. He plays Johnny B. Good with Michael Anthony Hall. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
He plays his best friend in that. So like I said, he had played like small parts, and then I think he was like a bully in a movie. I remember. But anyways, so like I said, 50 Cent, I just fucking threw it at that. Here's one I was super excited about because I don't see this on DVD a lot. Ventures in Babysitting.
I actually really.
I was about to say, who doesn't love this fucking movie? This is nostalgia.
I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but I remember watching that a lot. That and the Babysitter's Dead.
Yeah, I just saw. I was saying, I think I bought that the other day, or I saw it out there. I didn't.
Or Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
I told you I've been working on getting this whole thing. It's the.
Did you get another one?
Mr. Brown, baby.
I'm kind of excited for you in this little.
Dude, I only have 3 more to go. I got to get Mr. Orange. I thought I had Mr. White, but I went to my dad's house. It's gone. I don't know what the fuck happened to it. I might check my sister's house. But I got Mr. Blonde, Mr. Pink, and I got Mr. Brown.
Nice.
I got to get orange, blue, and white.
I'm glad you showed me one so I can actually see it now because you told me about it, but I didn't know about them.
50 Cent, bro.
Yeah.
And look at it, dude. It's got a little booklet, and it's got his best quotes from the movie. Yeah. Mr. Brown sounds like Mr. Shit. Like, that's one of his quotes written in here.
That's super cool.
I thought it was cool that they did these for like the 10-year anniversary. Because I remember these used to be like fucking big money.
Oh, 100%.
This I thought was a fucking hella steal at 50 Cent. E.T. special edition. Like fucking quadruple disc edition. Probably 16 hours of bonus footage and shit.
That's so unnecessary.
But I love the little window.
Yeah.
But
it's
like
a cool ass like special edition, but I'm just not the biggest E.T. fan.
Spielberg.
I'm not the biggest Spielberg fan.
I do. I like Spielberg.
Yeah.
It's nostalgia. And I got the same Dragon Ball Super that you got.
I didn't get that.
You didn't buy that at resale?
Nope.
Fucking fun fact, dude. Didn't get it at Resale America. Got it out of the flea market, bro. A guy had a box of these bitches unopened, just like there. And I got this one for 50 cents, not $1. Undercut the undercut, bro.
Right.
And last but not least, your movie, Falling.
Oh, cool.
Following, sorry. Like I said, sleeper hidden gem. 7-8 all day, guys.
I'm glad you liked it.
Go check it out.
Yeah.
It was a pleasant surprise, like I said. I kind of like the first director thing you've been going on lately.
I mean, it's just lesser known because they're not all their first movies. It's just lesser known. Because like I said, Cape Fear is not Martin Scorsese's first movie, but it's definitely a under talked about movie.
No, but we've done it too. Mean Streets.
Yeah.
We did it.
Oh, I think a lot of people talk about Mean Streets because it's...
Well, now, all that because he is what he is. He is who he is, but...
Right. Is my movie in there? Is it E.T.? I don't want to do
No,
E.T.
I'm not going to make you do E.T.
We can do Reservoir Dogs.
I was thinking Reservoir Dogs. I just don't want to... I keep wanting to go back to a comedy, bro, but I just love gangster movies so fucking much, bro. And it gives me a reason to watch it. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
We're going to do... I have Reservoir Dogs.
Oh,
I have the Blu-ray.
Oh, we'll give it here.
But this is... No, I want to hold on to this.
No, man, because it's going to come up missing. No, Nick, I swear I gave it back to you. I don't know what
happened to the brown.
I gave it back to you, man.
That is super cool. It's just a sleeve, right?
I think they're all with all of them on the front.
That's what I'm saying. It's just a sleeve.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you could just buy the sleeves. What if for your birthday I bought you all the sleeves?
Well, that would be a waste because me, bro. I like to get them in the wild.
I know.
Bro.
It is cool that you actually found one.
I found 3.
Yeah.
Because I had none of them.
Well, this is a new one.
Actually, I think what it was is I think I had it, but I think it didn't have the slips. You know what? That's probably my Mr. White. That's probably what it is.
You lost the slip.
Or it got destroyed along the way.
Probably.
When Brody was a kid, he was a fucking menace with DVDs. He made it a mission in life.
Yeah.
He used my first Nintendo Wii as a fucking piggy bank. I picked that bitch up one day and it had $1.75 and that shit just.
Kids are savages.
They are, dude. You'll learn. But
so next week it's either going to be Cape Fear with our buddy Mick Sawyer, or it's going to be Reservoir Dogs.
Call us back, Hollywood.
Yeah,
we're trying to get this in the book. We're trying to get it on the books. Have our people talk to your people.
Right.
And if not, hey, you know, I love talking about Reservoir Dogs.
I'm down for it. So,
is this our second or third Tarantino movie? I know we did Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I think it's just our second.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah. Which it will be cool because I'm following it up with one of his other movies that I don't want to talk about right now.
All right.
I mean, I guess we mentioned it, True Romance, but it changed to Cape Fear.
Well, he didn't direct it; he wrote it.
Yeah, but it's still a Quentin Tarantino movie.
It feels like a Tarantino movie,
and it's not talked about enough. So I want to do it on the podcast.
Were we still going to talk about Unbearable Weight, or you want to wrap it up?
We've been going quite a while, so
right,
I think
fine.
we'll just wrap it up.
Okay.
But Reservoir Dogs.
See y'all later.
Until then.